Hello everybody. Let's get started on some cutting for the Storybook layouts. This is the regular Close to My Heart workshop, and I thought I would just do the cutting instructions this time on video. I don't always do them, but I'm going to do them this time for you. Some of these things we will trim down a little bit later once we start putting the layouts together. I think it's just easier for me to send you the regular cutting instructions and then we adapt them later when we're actually doing the layouts than try to write up new cutting instructions, which would be kind of hard. So let's get started on cutting. All right, you're going to be using for your very first piece here, and I know it says to cut all the zip strips first, but gosh, there isn't that much of the regular paper. We're using a lot of the specialty paper here, the exclusive paper. So I'll just cut the little zip strips on the two sheets that we're gonna use later. So the first one you're gonna use is you wanna use this diamond paper, kind of diamond and melon, I guess is the color here. And that's gonna be 7 by 12. So just like that, and 5 by 12. And these are number 3. So find yourself a pile to put these in, right? So I'm gonna set mine to the left of me. I've changed places yet again for my all my scrapbooking because my husband used to be in this room. This is the guest room. And I've had to change because he had his desk and computer here, and every time guests came, we had to dismantle his whole computer, so that wasn't working for us. The next page is going to be the exclusive paper, again, the lined one that's, I believe, is this melon? I can't remember, but it doesn't say on here what color it is, but I think that's like a melon color. So this is going to be 10 by 10. So since it was a big pain to dismantle his computer every time, we have now switched rooms, and I'm gonna leave mine up because it's just a little bit easier to take down for guests, and luckily we're not gonna have guests for a while here, so that'll, not luckily, but you know what I mean. I need a little time off because I've been traveling so much. So 10 by 10, this is number 2, layout 2. So everything's going on the floor today as I put these out instead of my usual where I would sit them on my kitchen counter. All right, the next piece is keeping this horizontal, the lines horizontal. It's 1.5 by 10. Oh, I hear an ambulance. Now, I, again, have that kind of a curvy table here. I really need to replace this table with one that doesn't have a dip in it. Somehow this has gotten a dip in it. 1.5 by 10. 1.5 by 10. Just follow along with your directions just in case I mess up. So, or I forget to tell you. Okay, those are all going to be scraps. I'll put those away for later. And next we're going to be doing the other, I call it notebook paper because it just looks like notebook paper to me. The melon one, we're going to do the same thing. 10 by 10 again. And the other one will be 1.5 by 10. So I'm finally done traveling for a short time. I'm going to be, my husband's company is taking us to Mexico. My mind is blown about that they actually do this. So that'll be at the end of April. Very excited about that. I just saw the resort they're taking us to, and very she, you know, way out of my normal league. So it's gonna be fun. But I'll get to, the hard part, of course, is that I've got to meet all these new people that work with my husband and make small talk and get to know them. And that's, you know, that's a little out of my comfort zone. 1G for this. And so that's going to be interesting. Now I'm going to cut both the zip strips of this next page first. Okay, so on the first, on my example layout, I kind of did a little bit both of girl and boy pages. So they've got it set up here so that it's one side is more girlish, one side is more boyish. So you got the the little ponies on the girl side and the dragons on the other side. Of course, you know, girls and boys like whatever they like, you know, so just make it fit your kid. And we're gonna go with, since mostly on my example, I did boy pages, I'm gonna go with girl ones on this one. And, you know, there's just a few different changes, and we'll talk about those when we come up to them for the boys and the girls. Just a few embellishments that are slightly different. So don't worry about that. They've got examples of both. I'll show you. So they've got the girl page, the boy page. So I will just kind of talk about what might be the differences, but we're going to work mostly on girl pages this time since I did mostly boy pages for the examples. And hopefully that won't be too confusing for you. So anyway, back to this. These are going to be both cut 11 3/4 by 11 1/2. Okay, so the 11 3/4 is the length. So let me cut these zip strips off. And that's the only zip strips I think we're gonna have for this for now. There'll be some later on the once we do the background pages. And I don't think they're using zip strips in any part of this. So, all right, and since I'm doing girl, I'm gonna keep the pony side up. And it's, the first one is 11 3/4. So that's going to be the, you know, cutting the horizontal side is what I could call it. So I'm gonna put that over at 11 3/4. But we will be changing this slightly later. And I gotta do it twice because of my uneven table. And then the other side will be 11 1/2. So turn it, and 11 1/2. And I can feel that dip in the table. That drives me crazy. I need a new table. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so 11 3/4 this side, 11 1/2 top to bottom. Okay, and those are both for one layout and one. Now we're going to move on to paprika cardstock, dark side. Make some mats. All right, 4 1/4 all the way down. Turn it and do 6 1/4. And 4 1/4. Throw this scrap to the side. These are for layout 3. Let's do it again. I think all of these are going to be layout 3. 4 1/4 again, all the way down. And this time 6 1/2. So I'm going to have to go up to the top here so I can see that measurement. 6 1/2 and 3 1/4 down at the bottom. And those will be for layout 3. And the last time it's going to be 3 1/4 and 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. Mats are important. I really like to see a mat around my photos. For a while, close to my heart, was doing a lot of photos without any mats and stuff. That was not my thing. So these are for layout 3. And I think I just did mats when they had no mats. I just did them anyway. Okay, now we're going to take the honey paper, but we're going to do the light side, which is this side. I just go like this when I'm trying to determine which, sometimes it's pretty close, right? So I just do like that. That's how I tell. So light side, and we're gonna go 4 1/4 all the way down. Turn it. Go 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and 3 1/4. And these are gonna be for layout 2. And I lay them down on the side that's supposed to be up, you know, when I do that, so that once I start playing with them, I know not to turn them over. We're gonna go 4 1/4 in, turn it, and 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, now turn it back, or you can, it doesn't matter, you can go either way, but we're gonna change it to the dark side and go 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I have some nice size scraps left from that one. Okay, so this one, the small one's for 1, the big one is for 2. Okay, next, get those out of the way, is the mist cardstock, dark side. We're going to start with 6 1/4. Turn it, 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. So in a couple weeks, I get to go to a crop that I do not have to run. I have 2 friends that I hang with twice a year, and we scrapbook for 4 days, and it's so heavenly. And last time I took all of these are all going to be, so that was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, all for number 1. Last year I took layouts and just filled them in, completed layouts, filled them in with photos. This year I think I actually am gonna take kits. So that's gonna be my thing. So now the next piece is for the boy page. So if you're doing a girl page, you can skip this part. But I'll just cut it just to show for the people who want to do a boy page. It's 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. But I'll set that aside because I am not gonna necessarily need that one. I'll put it up here and hopefully I'll remember to talk about it once we get to that page. Now we're gonna use Seabrook light side. And this is gonna be 7, trying to stay in camera, 7 by 5. So 7 all the way down. Set this piece aside, you won't need it. And then 5. And this is gonna be for layout 1. And then turn it back the other way. Well, it doesn't matter, I suppose, either way. But if you want to turn it back the other way, 3 1/4 all the way down, 3 1/4 all the way down again. And then I will cut them together at 4 1/4. And those are for layout 2. Mulberry, last one we have to cut. Okay, so we're using dark side, but for the first one, we're gonna use light side, so I'm gonna flip it. And that's 4 1/2. This is for girls page, so I will set this into mine, but if you want boys page, you've already done it, and you won't have to cut that part. So 4 1/2 by 4 1/2. And that's for 1. And then I'm gonna flip this back over to the dark side and go 3 1/4 all the way down. Flip it and go 4 1/4. And that should leave you with 3 1/4. And that's for layout 1. Okay, get rid of all those scraps. And quite a good pile of scraps, boy. I could make some cards from those. All right, I think that's it. So now we can get started. We're gonna do some glitter paper for this. So I'm gonna pause for a minute. I'm gonna look at my glitter paper, and we might as well just go ahead and cut the glitter paper while we're at it. So, and then I will also put those as separate instructions, written instructions. Okay. Let's start cutting our glitter paper. Now, one thing that would be really cool, you do not have to use silver glitter paper. So what I do is I look on Zip Strip and see the different kinds of paper that's in here, because there are some of these that you could have glitter paper for. I believe Sage has one, Seabrook has one, maybe Mulberry, maybe Mist has glitter paper. So if you don't have silver, pull out one of your other ones, because a lot of them would go with this. I just happen to have a lot of silver, so I wanted to use that. So we're going to cut the big 12 by 12. We're just going to take off 1/8 of an inch to make it 11 and 7/8. Yep, 11 and 7/8. By 11 and 7/8. Let me see. They want to do 11 7/8 both ways. No, I don't think I do. Let me check it real quick on my paper. Make sure I get this right, because I think we're going to turn it. So, yep, it is going to be 11 and 7/8 both ways. So think so. Oh, actually maybe a little more. Let me check. Okay, I think 11 7/8 both ways. If we have to adjust that, I will edit this video. So keep these, we might need these. I think we'll be, yeah, I think we're gonna be using those. So do that on one, and then on the second, this is gonna be for layout one. So 11 7/8, just to add a little sparkle. Now, if you don't have glitter paper at all, number one is you can just use another one of the colors that goes with this kit. You know, pull out some of your cardstock. You could use some of your mix-ins and do this instead, or you can skip it all together. So 11 7/8 by 11 7/8. Keep those extras too. And then on the second page, I want to do, I've got, remember we talked about this piece. They have one in the pinkish and one in the bluish, one for boy, one for girl. This is going to go behind a circle that has cutouts in it. And I thought, well, since we got this glitter paper, we might as well go ahead and do it with glitter paper and make these little hearts be pretty. So we can use these. You can use these, the pink or the blue if you want to, or you can go ahead and cut up some of your glitter paper to a 4.5 by 4.5, I believe is what that was. Check real quick. Yep, 4.5 by 4.5. Cut that all the way down. And that will go to, what did I say now? Let me look real quick on which layout that's going to be for, because I think, well, it's layout one. Yeah, layout one. So layout one, and this will go behind the hearts, or you can use the blue or the pink. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to get a drink. Okay, so the two strips you had left that were 12 inches by 12 inches, you're going to put on layout 3. And then last, we're going to make a few mats for layout 2. So take the smaller piece that you have left that we cut at 4.5 and cut it at 4 1/8 all the way down, and 4 1/8 this way. And let me see if that leaves us. I believe it leaves us 3 1/8. And that will go on layout 2, or layout 2, yep, layout 2. And then we've got, let's do 2 more 4 1/8. Yeah. I'd love to put a mat behind all those pictures, but we don't have enough. So we need one. Let's see, 2 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. So that was our 4 1/8. And we need 2 3 1/8. And those would be for the first page of number 2. So since I don't have enough paper for all 4 mats on the second page, we're just going to do 2 at a diagonal, which will balance it out nicely. So these all go on number 2. So that's it for your glitter paper, and we're going to be good to go. We're going to do just a little bit of trimming, I believe, maybe not, when we get the layouts together. I actually think I might have not even had to trim too much. So that's your cutting. So be ready on Sunday for your putting it all together.